Okay, let's proceed further. Now this is how we create semaphore using SemGet. Now once the semaphore is created, before you use semaphore for wait operation or signal operation, you must initialize the semaphore. So semaphore is initialized using semctl. The semctl call is used to initialize the semaphore variable or used to destroy the semaphore variable. Semctl is basically semaphore control. Okay, so you can either what control you can do on the semaphore? Well, there are two possibilities. Either you can initialize the semaphore or you can destroy the semaphore. So these are the two control operations that you have on the semaphore. Okay, semctl used to initialize the semaphore or destroy the semaphore. Semctl means semaphore control. Okay, used to initialize the semaphore or destroy the semaphore. So these are the two possibilities that you have for semctl. So there are two commands basically which tells you to set the semaphore variable or destroy the semaphore variable. And just like you had commands IPC set, IPC stat, and IPC RMID in message queues and shared memory, you have the IPC log, IPC unlog also. So similarly, you will have commands here also. Okay, semctl. Now this is the semaphore key, the kernel's key that was returned when you did SemGet. So you get this, the key. Semaphore key that was returned by SemGet, kernel's key to identify the semaphore. When SemGet is successful in creating the semaphore, it will return this kernel key. The return value is semaphore identifier used in the other semaphore functions. So this is that semaphore identifier that was returned by the SemGet. Now I told you earlier that we create array of semaphores. Listen carefully. We always create array of semaphores. Suppose we create 4 semaphores. 4. Now these 4 semaphores will have index 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, isn't it?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So semaphore array that will be created will have index 0, 1, 2, 3. Now here you are doing semctl, semaphore control. That means suppose you are initializing the semaphore. Now there are 4 semaphores in the semaphore array. Index 0, 1, 2, 3. So you have to identify here that out of all the semaphores that are present in the semaphore array, give the index of the semaphore in the semaphore array that you want to do semctl with. That maybe you want to initialize. So you have to specify the index of the semaphore in the semaphore array. This is the index into the semaphore array that was identified by first argument. This identifies the semaphore array. Within the semaphore array, this is the index of the semaphore. That has to be initialized now. Okay. Next is command. There are 2 possible commands in semaphores. One is setval, one is IPC RMID. You are familiar with IPC RMID, I believe. IPC RMID used to destroy the message queue and shared memory. Both you have seen that earlier, isn't it? So the commands could be IPC RMID means destroy the semaphore if you're done, if you finished using the semaphore. Another command is setval. Setval means set the value of the semaphore, means you are going to initialize the semaphore variable. Initialize the semaphore variable. Okay. Now, if you have to initialize the semaphore variable, you have to give value also. So you will initialize semaphore variable with some value. What is that value? You have to specify value. Or if you are doing IPC RMID command, you don't need any value. If the command is IPC RMID, means destroy the semaphore. You will straight away go ahead and destroy the semaphore. You will not need to give any value. But if you are doing command set val, if the command that you are using is set val, then you have to give value, and the value to the semaphore variable is given through the fourth argument. This is value for the semaphore variable with which the semaphore will be initialized. Okay, if you see the argument is not specified, type is not specified, it is just dot 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 given. Dot 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 in system programming means one optional argument. If the command is IPC RMID, you will not use this argument. But if the command is set val, then this argument will be used. Now, how to set the value? Okay, this value is specified through the fourth optional argument, set value. So, value for the semaphore variable is provided here. The set val command is used. One, two, three, four. The value for the semaphore variable is given when set val command is used. Okay, so only when you are using set val that you will be needing this argument. Now, the value that I am talking about, where is that variable which will keep the value? That variable is not some independent value, integer value independently lying somewhere. It's not like that. That value is actually provided inside union. And the union is called union SEMUN. This one optional argument, when used, it will be union called semaphore union. Okay. This is the data type that will be used, in which you will have semaphore variable in val. Inside the structure you have int val, you will have user permissions, process permissions, and buffer. Three type of permissions you have. So these are the three type of permissions. And int val. This int val is the semaphore variable. This val, is the semaphore variable. This is the value that you have to initialize with 1, and then wait operation will decrement to 0, signal operation increment to 1, isn't it? Now this value is inside the union. Once you value set, that the user process and the buffer permissions are set and reset automatically, and this all thing will be used when you use the command setval. If the command is ipcrmid, you will not use it union semun will not be used. The union semun looks like this. It will have various type of permissions, and those permissions we need not see right now. Okay. This is semaphore union. This is the user buffer permissions, array permissions, and the process permissions, and the file permissions, all kind of permissions are there. We don't have to look into this right now. We are just right now concerned only about this val, which will be the semaphore variable. Setval command is used to initialize the semaphore to a known value, which is given by us, whether it will be a semaphore, binary semaphore, or counting semaphore, will be decided according to the value with which the semaphore is initialized. Then you have the ipcrmid command, which you have already seen. Okay, this was semctl. If you have any doubts, please ask me immediately. Then, yes, Siddharth.
सर स्ट्रक्चर यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं?
नहीं, स्ट्रक्चर यूज नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि स्ट्रक्चर के जितने एलिमेंट हैं, 4 एलिमेंट हैं, मान लो char, int, float. So the char and the int and the float, all three will use 3 different locations consecutive. Char 1 byte, then the int 4 byte, then the float 4 byte. Okay. But when you use union, then suppose you have char and float, then all the char and the int and the float, everybody will use one common space. Okay, so that is what is required here. Depending on the value of val, you will have permission set up for the user buffer process. Now, semaphore operations. Some operations of the semaphore. SemOp means semaphore operations. Okay. What the semaphore operations will do? Well, it will. What are the operations? Wait, in which you decrement the semaphore variable, or signal operation in which you will be incrementing the semaphore. These are performed by SMOP, semaphore operations. This function is used for changing the value of semaphore variable. For changing the value of semaphore variable. SemOp. It is also semaphore operations. It will be performing either of the 2 type of operations that it is allowed to, and the 2 operations are wait and signal, where it will increment or decrement the semaphore variable in an atomic manner. The first argument is as usual the kernel key that was returned by semlet. The key that was returned by semlet. Kernel's key, which is unique. Now comes into picture a structure called struct sembuff. Let me mark it. A pointer to struct sembuff. What is this struct sembuff? Here it is. It contains 3 things. The semaphore number that is indexed into the semaphore array. Then it contains the semaphore operations. What operations you want to do? Wait operation or signal operation. And then it contains the semaphore flag, which I'll tell you later. Semaphore flag, I'll tell you later. So this is struct sembuff. Now this first one is semaphore number, index into the semaphore array. This is index into the semaphore array. Like the semaphore is actually array. The first argument identified SemID is not ID of semaphore. Actually, it is ID of semaphore array. So the first argument into struct semaphore is index into the semaphore array, which is identified using this key. Suppose you have created 4 semaphores, so you can have 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 as arguments, isn't it? Then the second argument is semaphore operations. What operations are you going to do on the semaphore variable? Wait or signal? Well, you can do wait or signal, whatever operation. The control is in your hands, and you have to program responsibility that before critical region you should do wait, and after critical region you should redo signal operations. Semaphore flags I'll tell you later. Okay. It requires more insight to this. Yes, Gaurav?
So, is there any similarity between message queue, shared memory, and semaphores?
Message queues and shared memory are IPC techniques, interprocess communication techniques, whereas semaphore is a synchronization mechanism. It is not used for IPC. This is semaphore operation. Okay. So these are the calls, 3 calls: semget, semctl, and semop. Okay, that are used by us to do semaphore operations. Flag I'll tell you later. Yes, Siddharth.
सर लास्ट वाला जो फंक्शन आप कह रहे थे डेस्ट्रॉय भी कर सकता है.
IPC RMID through semctl. When you give the command semctl, and the command you will give IPC RMID, then this semaphore index into this semaphore array, that semaphore will be destroyed.
सर वो दूसरे मेथड से भी कह रहे थे सर, 2 मेथड कह रहे थे, CTL और OP वाला भी कर सकता है.
Can you repeat that, please?
सर सेम CTL इनिशियलाइज करता है और डिस्ट्रॉय करता है. सर OP भी कह रहे थे आप कि उससे भी डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकते हैं.
No, I did not say that. Semaphore operations. SemOP is used to perform semaphore operations. Wait operation or signal operations means it is used to either increment the semaphore variable or decrement the semaphore variable. Okay. Let's see some examples. Here it is. Well, very simple one, semget. Semget is used to create the semaphore variable. Semget. Okay. And the first argument to semget is this key, which is the user supplied key. Either you will give key, some value, or F2K you can use, or you will give IPC private, depending on how you want to use. I have given a key 1, 2, 3. 4 is the number of semaphores we are going to create. This is the size of the array. And this is the number of semaphores that we are creating inside the semaphore array. The semaphore array is identified using this key, and this is the number of semaphores. And these are flags 666 IPC created or exclusive. I have made it 666 IPC created. You return -1 on error, or semaphore will be created and you will be able to see semaphore. Okay, let's try this. Compilation is successful, and let's run it. Oh, there it is. I have put some delay. 123, user supplied key, the kernel key, the owner, permissions, number of semaphores in the semaphore array. We created 4 semaphores. Did you notice that? This is done using IPCS.
Again, sir.
Sorry?
Again, sir. एक बार बता दो.
IPCS is the command that is used to check the IPC communication mechanisms and the synchronization mechanism arrays. So when we created semaphore, I gave key 123. This is this. I said that I'll be creating 4 semaphores. So you have number of semaphores as 4. I gave permission 666 IPC create. See, you have permission 666. When the semaphore is created, for the key given by the user, kernel generates its own unique key for the semaphores. Any doubts? Notice the header files ipc.h and syssem.h. Yes, that?
सर इसमें जो मेथड में फर्स्ट आर्गुमेंट पास कर रहे हैं ये सर ये कैसे पता चल रहा है ये वैल्यू पास करनी है?
Oh, you can give any value here actually. Or you can use FTOK to find a unique number which will be the key. Or you can give some value here. This is user supplied. We have given that number. We can give any number here. Now we are going to initialize semaphore. That's going to take little more understanding basically.